you that helped me out in my tip jar today, I want to say thank you. Today, I'm going to be talking about going off grid, kind of giving you a little bit more details of what it is that Sam and I are trying to accomplish. Well, at least we're making a good hearted effort to, but it seems like Mother Nature is against us right now. But this is also January. If you remember last year, January really wasn't that bad. But we were also in Gainesville, so I was thinking, oh, it shouldn't be that bad. So when we were looking to leave Gainesville, it was supposed to be in the 70s, and it was looking nice. Yeah, there was a couple of days of rain. Oh well, I can hunker down for the rain, not a problem. But then all of a sudden we get about 4 days in, and now I'm seeing about 7, 8 days down the road. We have got next Wednesday, so 8 days down the road, it's going to be like 22 in Tallahassee and like 25 or 26 hey, Connected to the Vine, I want to say thank you very much. What you did is really made a big difference. But anyways, just with it's going to get in the 20s, and me and Sam, I can survive it. My gear's rated down to about 5 degrees. If I try and put Sam in my sleeping bag with me, she moves too much. She keeps getting up in the middle of the night with every little sound, and then therefore I end up freezing. She's gonna freeze, and we're both gonna get sick, and have to deal with some crazy stuff. And I don't want to get sick, and she's probably and I don't want her to get sick. So that's why we chose to turn around and go back to Gainesville. Okay, so I'm gonna end up going off grid, and and this is part of the plan, and this is part. Let me kind of walk you down the path that led me down there. So, if you guys remember when I first started this channel, I was talking about the Great Dispossession, and hey, one who studies, nice to see you. Anyways, let me stop paying attention to. Let me stop paying attention to chat and pay attention to what it is that I'm trying to say, because I know that some people like me to stay on topic. Okay, so when I first started this channel, it was about the Great Dispossession. Okay, there was supposed to be a global economic collapse that's going to cause all of us to be dispossessed, or not all of us, but a good portion of us. At least 30 to 50% of society is going to get dispossessed. And also, one of the other things that I knew was coming was that there are supposed to be back-to-back civil wars. Now, I'm following the Billy Meier predictions, and he's been spot on with everything that he's put out. But that's up to the individual, though, to whether or not do your own study, do your own research, read what it is he has to say, look at his track record, and you'll probably come to the same conclusion as I do, as long as you're willing to have an open mind and actually let the facts lead you to the truth instead of let your bias lead you to the truth. And that's a lot of the problem that people have when they watch the Billy Meier content, is that they already have a predisposition. Way back when I came across the Meier material, it was around the birth of my son, and one of the things that I wanted to do, because I was Mormon at the time, and Mormons, you're supposed to be the spiritual leader as the man. So I did my prayer like I was supposed to. I asked God or creation to lead me down the right path, and no matter how much I didn't want to, I thought that Christianity was the way to go, but the more study I did, the more I realized that there's too many questions and not enough answers. And Billy Meier kept popping up, and I'm like, I don't like UFOs. I don't care about UFOs. I think they're stupid, because I have a different experience with them. And so after probably about 2 or 3 years worth of in-depth research, reading what he had to say, applying it, so on and so forth, I came to realize that, okay, the guy's got something here. Whether or not he is who he says he is, that's up for speculation. Anybody can speculate. But what is it that he's actually putting out? Is it actually benefiting me, or is it doing me harm? Is it leading me down a good path or down a negative path? And everything that he's ever put out has always led me down a positive path. It has actually made a huge impact in my life, to the point to where I was able to get a lot of what was going on up here that was going wrong, getting that straight. So when I'm reading that he's talking about the Great Dispossession, and we're talking about 2 civil wars back to back, at least one of them will be violent, I'm like, okay, I need to start preparing. And I kept trying to prepare. That's part of the reason why I built a business. But when you build a business, you're stuck to all the weird stuff that happens. And with what's going on the southern border, there was nothing that I could do to protect my business. It is what it is, but it happens. I still have my anger and my animosity. I don't think I'll ever get over it. I mean, a lot of people will tell you that owning a business, like a dog, it also is like a child. When you lose your child and when your child goes away before you do, you're gonna have that chip on your shoulder. So I kind of have, I will always have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder over something like that. Okay, so now that we've gotten to a point where Billy Myers also talked about a what's it called, the World War III or World War IV, according to him, because the 7 Years' War was actually the first World War, because all the globe all of the nations of the world, especially the powerhouses, were all going at it, and it had to do with because George Washington was an idiot. George Washington was not a great general. He was one of those people that fell up, and I still find it fascinating to learn that through history. I think he only won one battle during the whole Revolutionary War. He lost every single battle, but that one battle was the necessary battle to be able to give America what it is that we have today. Okay. And so, knowing that this is coming, one of the things that Meyer has said is that the first couple of years will be kinetic warfare. After that, then there may be, it's not set in stone, but it's more likely to happen than not, is that you're going to have nuclear, chemical, and biological warfare. The whole northern hemisphere is going to be, if not uninhabitable, very close to uninhabitable. Now, you need to go read the stuff yourself. I'm paraphrasing based upon my knowledge and my recollection. If you want the actual details, the finite, like exact word for word what he says, okay, with a huge article on it. Yes, and he's been talking about AI. We're at the beginning of stages of AI, and AI is going to run the world. All the fears that we have about AI are going to come true, and yet we're going full steam ahead thinking that we're smarter than the machine. And we design the machines to be smarter than us, but yet we think we're smarter than the machine. Get that oxymoron. Okay, so part of what I've been doing for the last 15 months is I wanted to build my YouTube channel. I wanted to be able to have some form of income to be able to document what it is that I'm going through. I know that a lot of people through the Great Dispossession are going to get dispossessed. They're going to become homeless, and if you become homeless, well, and we're talking about preppers, non-preppers, everybody in between. Okay, all those different things are going to play into this. So just because you're a prepper does not mean that you will not become homeless, because what about those urban preppers? I mean, what about those people that have debt and all that other stuff? And so I thought that I would share my knowledge of what it's been like off and on the streets for the last 25 years, and kind of where I've had my successes, how I've grown and gotten better as time goes along. Okay, and now all of that is coming to a head. We've been since the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. That clock started ticking. And with everything that I'm seeing economically, I've been waiting for this for quite some time. I've been expecting it to happen for the last 2 years, but it hasn't happened because, as my grandfather used to tell me, whatever economic policy you implement today, it takes 4 years before you get to see the actual effect of it. And he was a World War II vet, and so when he said something, I listened, and I thought that was very intelligent, and I've always lived off of that. So whatever Trump did today, 4 years from today, we will see the effects of what's happened, because it takes about 2 years for it to actually start to make an impact, and then about another 2 years for you to actually see the end result, because you have enough time and data to go off of to be able to prove this theory. And so it makes perfect sense as far as going dealing with what's going on, okay, economically. So we are, we're in 2024 now. The economy started failing in 2020. It was actually starting to fail in 2019, for various reasons. If you listen to Popular Preparedness, he will tell you that we've been in a continuous recession since 2008, which means Michael Horn was correct, even though, he was told not to talk about it. But that was the beginning of the global economic collapse. And every time we get up, we're going down. Every time we get up, we're going down. We're never going to be able to exceed where it was or grow past what it was that we had. Okay, and with everything that's going on. Again, the last 15 months, what I've been trying to do is not only share with you guys, but I needed to sort my oats, get acclimated to a whole new lifestyle, because most of my homeless experience has been in the cities, traveling via Greyhound, but since then, and in the last 15 months, I have taken rails, I've taken trails, I've taken Greyhound, I've hitchhiked, and all but one of those are free ways to travel. And I've gotten all over the country. I did the Florida Trail last year, the Alabama Road Walk. I did most of the Pinhoti before I got sick and then stiffed over $700 by an employer because I got off trail. I wanted to make some money, have some gear, be able to support myself while I was waiting for my YouTube channel to get monetized. And one of the good things that happened during that period was that my channel became monetized, but I've only gotten 2 payouts, and this month I will see my 3rd payout, which, it's $100 is $100, and it means a lot because especially when I need gear that's costing $30, $40, $50, okay? So that's something that is extremely important, for me to be able to become self-sufficient, so I don't have to keep going, hey, can you put something in my tip jar? Hey, and so on and so forth. So, as far as like if you want a free way to help out the channel, you can help out the channel by subscribing, by watching the content. Even if you skip the ads, it doesn't matter. As soon as you watch like the first 5 seconds of the ad, I make 3 whole sets. Hey, Nodaway, and I got something for you as well. If you you might want to check your messages on Patreon. Okay, so. So anyways, with everything that I've done, I've kind of learned how to, kind of begin to live off grid, with being out on trail. Being out on trail really taught me a lot. I'm still learning how to start a fire when it's wet. I'm still learning, how to prepare myself and kind of not have to come inside, because like today, the weather. Okay, so we tried getting on at White Springs. In White Springs, it was like chest high, okay, as far as the water goes, because it dips down and then it goes up, and the water has gone through the river. The Swanee River is really high, and a lot of it has to do with with all the rain that Florida has gotten this year. We weren't supposed to get any deep freezes. We were just supposed to get a lot of rain to cool it down. Well, apparently we are getting a deep freeze after all, and a lot of it has to do with this raining. Not only that, rain was supposed to start last night, and we were on the edge of the storm, so we didn't get anything. All we got was high winds. We were getting about 20-mile-an-hour winds. Now they have a tornado advisory until about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and which is right about now. And then after that, we got rain and for another couple of hours, and then it's going to dry out for a couple of days, and stuff like that. Not a way. All that rain that was hitting Florida, because of those high winds, it just sent it up north so quick that like the whole eastern half of the United States is getting the same storm that we got. So, it is what it is. So what our goal is, and we're going to have to figure out a way to get there, because climate change is happening whether you want to admit it or not. The winters are getting more extreme and they're getting shorter. The summers are getting more extreme and they're getting longer. Okay, and it is what it is, and you can debate it all you want, but I get to live in it. And this year in Florida is worse than last year in Florida, and I thought it was actually going to be a better year here in Florida because we weren't going to get those deep freezes. Now, if I would have dropped down and stayed in Orlando or gone down to Miami or something like that, I'd have probably been in a lot better position. But I like Gainesville for various reasons. One, my best friend Puckett's there, and that's, we're going to go there, and we're going to stay there at least until my birthday, which is February 20th. and then we're going to be looking to head west like I wanted to do. But what? How is it that we're going to do it? What is it we're going to do? So I've got a couple of options. Okay, I was going to go and push for the van life, but after Paranoid shared with me the Obama movie, it was awesome. It was kind of like that. I needed that push over the edge. I needed, because I've been sitting on the fence going, okay, it's coming, it's not coming, it's coming, it's not coming, to where, okay, now I get it. Because fifth generation warfare is basically what the whole movie is. It's the introduction of what fifth generation warfare can really be about. And I think that it is a very important flick if you are a prepper, or if you are just trying to prepare for what's coming, even if you don't consider yourself a prepper. I think that it's an important movie to kind of give you a visualization of not only what fifth generation warfare is, but the amount of catastrophic effects that it can have on a society, and on a country. Because essentially there is this program that the government was doing, which is you attack it via cyber warfare, and then the country goes into civil war, and then from civil war you can just walk in and take it and not a shot fired. And that is something that the United States government has been doing and practicing for years. I mean, it goes all the way back to FDR's, I think it's no, Teddy Roosevelt, I think it's his nephew, or his grandson, who went to Iran and installed the Shah of Iran. And he did that on behalf of the CIA, and the U.S. government began doing that. So there's a boomerang effect. What you do to others, others will do to you, and even on a country level, because our government has been doing this on our behalf. We the people will have to suffer the consequences of our incompetent politicians, and eventually we're just going to get tired of it. Hopefully, we get tired of it, but. So how are Sam and I? What are we going to do? How are we going to go off grid? Because I'm ready to go off grid. It's that time, and I don't really think that we have much time left. Because come springtime, a lot of the stuff that's being held and stayed because of the winter, because we're waiting for the data from the fourth quarter to come, because we won't see that for another 6 days. We won't see how bad the fourth quarter really was. And if popular preparedness is correct in the way that he interprets the data, then we don't got but maybe another 3 months, 4 months left before we really start to see the crack in the dam expand, per se. Okay, and so I want to be able to be out there and be ahead of the game. See, my whole thing is to be ahead of the game, so that I can be there and pre-positioned before everybody else gets there. Now, am I going to have to stand my ground? Am I going to have to hold on to things? You bet your ass, Scott, I am. Because it's people see what you have, and if they want it and they're desperate enough, they're going to take it. It does not matter their politics. It does not matter their religion. It matters the fact that they are human. They have an instinct to survive, and they want what you have because they see it as a way of survival. Not only that, something that I talked about during the summer is how domesticated we are as human beings, and how we cannot handle just the slightest inconvenience. Because you guys tell me, oh my God, you live outside, you need to get a place. Oh my God, you need to get a job. All these different things, the things that domesticate you, in the same way that we've domesticated our animals. And so now our animals, they're going to have to learn to be wild again, and once society falls apart. Because one of the things that the old lady, Donna, told me in Gainesville is that animals being dumped is at an all-time high right now, because people can't afford them, whether it be their food, or whether it be their doctor's visits and all the other stuff. Plus you've got to pay for their fees and all these other fees and stuff like that. Dogs can be fairly expensive. They're as expensive, if not more expensive, than a girlfriend, in my opinion. And I keep wondering, it's like, why do I have a dog? I don't even want a girlfriend. I mean, I was trying to save money, not blow it all. But it's a joke, guys. Okay, somewhat of a joke. There is some truth in that. But anyways, so what we need to we're gonna have to hunker down in Gainesville till at least February, middle of February, because that's when a lot of this crazy crap will kind of die out. That's also when a lot of the stuff like the rain and stuff like that will the like the constant flooding. And I'm going to upload a video probably today if I can, if not today, as soon as I get into Gainesville. The place in Ellaville that I was at, because the Florida Trail comes across 90, I think 2, maybe 3 times, and it goes across I-10 2 or 3 times as well, because you zigzag through. And so we just went down 90 about 30 miles, 40 miles to get to the next entrance. And in Ellaville, which is the halfway point between Tallahassee and Gainesville, they earlier this year, when you heard about a what's it called, a tornado that hit Florida, well, it hit right there, and I mean, just trees everywhere. I got a little bit of footage of it. I got some pictures of it. It was like, wow, Florida is taking a beating this year. Okay, and it's not doing well. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the country, but just being able to trounce around in the woods like I have been, if you are up in the Panhandle, especially the western half of the state, um, and especially the western half of the state, it has gotten tornadoes, hurricanes, inundated with rain. I mean, it's holding, but it's not going to hold much longer. And hopefully we get out of this soon enough. So come February, we are going to go one of 2 places, okay? And I'd like your guys' input, and you guys can tell me down in chat which way you think we can go. But listen to both of them before you make one choice, one way or the other, okay? So choice one is we go to somewhere like Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we catch the southern part of the Great Divide Trail. We take it up until we get up in the forest. It might take us a couple of weeks to get up there, to find a spot. Once we start finding trees, then we need to start finding water, either tributary rivers into the Colorado River, or maybe even find the what's it called? Find the Colorado River and just follow it until we find a couple of spots. But I want to be at least 10 miles outside of a city. Okay, that's a day's walk for me and the dog. And I want to have 3 separate camps on BLM land. Okay, that way I can rotate between them. That way, this is my contingency in case we get overran in one camp. I still have 2 others. I can still survive. Now, the thing is if somebody really wants to take what I have, my life may be in danger, especially the more prepared and the better off I look like I might be. I may be living out in the woods, but at least I've got a couple of gardens. I've got traps set up so I can eat my fruits, I can eat my vegetables, I can eat my meat, and I can survive, me and the dog, just out there completely off grid without really worrying about it. I have my Sawyer water filter, so this right here. This is the Sawyer Squeeze. So the regular Sawyer water filter costs $30. This one costs $22.99. They're both the same. They'll both give you 100,000 gallons of water. This is why you want a Sawyer over any of the other water filters, is for that. Plus, its little connector here takes a 20-ounce lid. So most of you, like your Aquafinas or your Smart Water, stuff like that, that will fit this, and then you just squeeze it, and so on and so forth. Because I think maybe the problem I had with the other Sawyer water filter, the big one that's like $30, is it may have been gravity fed, and I was trying to treat it like a squeeze. So having a squeeze, I just sit there, squeeze, put it in there. I had to use it this morning because we ran out of water, and quite frankly, the water was decent. So yeah, last year I probably got sick because my water filter was broken. One thing that you need to realize about these is these membranes cannot freeze. So in about 7-8 days, when it gets super cold, this is going to have to go in my sleeping bag with me so that it stays warm and it doesn't freeze, because at that point in time it's broken. I got to replace it. Okay. The other thing that I was also told to do You want to put tape around here, like duct tape or something, maybe even up here around the base of the nozzle. That way, if you know, as you're putting it in and out, if because you got your side pouches, you don't want it to crack or to break, or if you drop it on the ground, because once that happens, it's gone. And that's just one preventative measure that you can do. This was something that was taught to me, and this is something that I'm passing down to you. Okay, so that is option one. Option two is that we go to we go get up on the pinhoti. If you guys remember some of the footage I showed, that there's perfect spots within a day or so of the city where there's river or a little creek that runs through, so I can drink that. And then not only that, I think we're even close to a waterfall in a couple of them. But there's some nice flat spots up there. But here's the problem: once you're the 80% of the population lives on the East Coast, 20% lives on the West Coast. So 20%, 20% of the population lives out there on the West Coast. I'm going to have less people coming out versus if I am in, like, let's say Alabama, because I'm not going over the Georgia side of the Pinhoti. I'm going to stick on the Alabama side. It's the nicest part of the trail. I completely understand why people, just do the Alabama side, because I think it's about 200 miles on the Alabama side, 150 on the Georgia side, and then you got like 50 miles on the Bent McCaw before you get up to the AT. Okay, so those are going to be something that we as individuals, you're going to have to make similar choices yourself. So which would you do? Would you go, I mean, it may be a little bit easier, a little bit more cost effective, and we can get there on time, because I want to be there. I want no later than the end of March, because spring starts on the 21st. I need to be able to have seeds in the ground and ready to go, so that I can get ahead of the growing season and just keep moving forward from there, and just kind of get my learning curve up and going. Okay, so there's going to be gear that I will need. Either way, I'm going to need some sort of solar charger so that I don't have to be going into town every 3 days and plugging my stuff in. I'm going to need one of those axe saw handles from Ozark Trail. I'm going to put that on my list as well. I'm gonna put my anyways, sorry, I read a comment. That's that. But I'm gonna put some more things on that list. I know some of you have asked, hey, where can I send it? I actually, in my short, somebody asked me where they could send it. If you look up Grace Marketplace, okay, Grace Marketplace is where I will be until mid-February, let's say. So if you want to send stuff there now, they will hold my mail for up to 2 weeks anyways. But if you want to send stuff there, that's one thing that you can do. Okay. As far as like sending me stuff, if you guys want to send me something. And then from there, we're going to be looking to move. Okay. And, we're either going north or we're going west. But we're going somewhere, and we need to kind of get prepared to get off grid, so we don't have to worry about all this dumb stuff anymore. It's time to exit society. And I'll tell you, one of the like big red flags that really stuck out to me today is, okay, so when you fly a sign or when you do anything like that, says, hey, I need help, right? Maybe 1 out of 100 people will help you. Okay, I may stand there for 2 hours. I got 4 people that give me a $5 bill. Okay, that makes me my $20. Okay, that's my minimum daily. That's what my upkeep is. Is $20 if I have everything that I need, to keep going as far as finances go. Okay, and so it takes that. But we're walking down the road. We're trying to hoof it. We left at 8 o'clock this morning to make sure that we could get here to Live Oak in time, and we still missed it because it started raining early. So I'm watching Sam here. She's laying on the back. I'll show you guys where she's at in a minute, but I want you to she's kind of up and ready, and I gotta end this here soon anyways. Sam, lay down. Lay down. People are trying to mess with the dog, and she wants to play. Okay, this is another thing that I hate. Okay, so we're walking down the road. Okay, 20-mile-an-hour gusts. It's pushing me out into the road. It's pushing Sam, into me and stuff like that. And we're trying to, like, keep our balance while walking down the road, hoping it is firing it as fast as we possibly can. Okay, and with that happening, I mean, people just drive by. Oh, hope you make it. Good luck. It starts raining. Still walking, trying to hoof it. We're about 3.5 miles from town, and people just passing us by. Best of luck to you. Hope it works out. I mean, I'm holding up my thumb, just, got a dog on one arm, just huffing it and moving as fast as I can with my thumb up. I mean, 20 years ago, people would stop, especially in the conservative area. They're armed to the teeth. If you think you're gonna get in and rob them, no, it ain't gonna happen. And there was still a humaneness that was there with all of us to begin with. And they have gone to the complete other side, the other extreme. Same thing with liberals. So 20 years ago, a conservative would help you out. They would give you a ride. Even if you say, hey, look, I need a ride to work so I can get to work, man, you know what? You got a ride to work. Don't worry about it. I'll be there. I'll pick you up. I want to see you get a job, get up on your feet. So a conservatives, I would consider a lot more humane. Okay, 20 years ago. Liberals, you come up to them and say, hey, can you help me out? They'd be like, what do you think we pay all these taxes for these government services? Go get a government service, okay? Go get food stamps. Go get this. Oh, we pay all these taxes. That's what we're paying for. So they weren't upset that they were paying for it. They just kept saying, well, why are you asking us for help? We pay taxes so that you can get the help. Okay, now it's completely reversed. Now it's get a job, bum. You're a loser. You are the reason why my taxes are high. All these different things. I get to listen to some of the nastiest things that people will say. And then on the left, it used to be, a bleeding heart only bleeds for themselves. That used to be my saying. Now they're the ones going to be like, oh, well, there's government services, but here's this, here's some food, here's this and here's that. And the liberals will help you out more now than they would have 20 years ago. And it is completely reversed roles. And this is something that baffles me. But seeing that, it wasn't until it was about to be a nasty downpour. Some old guy, I guess he turned around, came back. He's like, it's going to be a nasty downpour in about an hour and a half. I said, I know. We're trying to get to town so we can get under cover. Because it was a lot like tornado, or not tornado, like hurricane rain. Okay, that's how bad it was. And so the guy says, where are you going? He's like, where can I drop you? I said, you can either drop me at the Dollar General or a Burger King. Either one works. He drops me at the Dollar General and gives me a $20 bill. I'm like, yay! Now I can eat and I don't have to dip into the other stuff, because right now I'm suffering from serious hiker hunger, man. I can't eat enough. I mean, if you guys sent me $20 right now, I'd probably spend it right here, just stuffing my face, because I mean, I ate 2 tacos and I also had a jug of milk, and I'm still like it's like I haven't eaten in 3 days. That's the real what hiker hunger is like. Is you get to a point, doesn't matter how much you eat. You could eat 5,000 calories. I knew a guy that once ate 11,000 calories and still couldn't get full. There's something about hiking and everything that you do that just it wears you down, and you're always gonna be really hungry the longer you go. But this is the quickest that hiker hunger has really kicked in for me. But I've kind of been living menial to begin with, because Sam, she takes up a lot of the resources so that I can buy food and and all this other stuff for her. And part of the reason why I kind of got in a financial conundrum is because, well, she keeps losing her toy. She'll grab it, she'll run off, and then she'll leave it somewhere, and then I'm packing up, I don't see it, and we end up leaving it behind. And so I'm replacing her toys, and I think part of the reason I was only going in there to spend $10 to buy some stuff, and I bought her a treat, and I bought her a toy. Somehow it turns out to be like $19. I'm like, how did that happen? And I'd already paid it before I even realized what was going on. And so that put me in a bind as well. But so my question to you guys is: do I go to the Pinhoti, or do I go to the Great Divide and just kind of hike up? Because if I go up the Great Divide, once I find a place I want to jump off, I'm just gonna go like at least a mile in, if not more, because most people aren't gonna travel that far off, even hikers. So it will be extremely rare that I may even see anybody, if at all, and those may be hunters. Okay, and those will probably be the only people that I have to worry about. Okay, so which way do you guys think I should go? What do you think is going to be the best situation? Which would you like to see? I honestly think that going west to the Rockies, because two things are bringing me there. One, 20% of the population lives there, and that is the largest section of federal forest land that in the whole entire country is the Rockies West. Okay. The other thing is both New Mexico and Colorado are both weed legal, so I can grow my plants and not have to worry about all this other stuff. Okay. And plus the way that they've changed it from the federal guidelines as far as Delta 8, Delta 9, and all this other stuff, it will also protect me on federal forest land. And plus, it's growing wild. It just happened to just start growing right here. I don't know how it happened. It happened. I could play stupid like the rest of us. I mean, it's not hard. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Cool. I was kind of hoping for some anyways. Here, let me help you out here. So, okay. On the GD. Okay. Okay, so let me go back and read some of these comments. You guys are really lit up chat. Good. Okay. Hi, guys. Okay, grow the beard. Okay, yeah. Hey, this is 2 months, one who studies. This is 2 months worth of growing my beard. I can't wait till it gets to like it was before I shaved it when I got to Chattanooga because, oh, man, it was a beautiful beard. And I've regretted shaving it ever since. Okay, contact report. Okay, I'm glad you appreciate it. Connected to the Vine. Okay, hi Amethyst. Hi Notaway. Outdoor Dreadhead. Okay, you're new to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Or at least it's the first time I've seen a comment from you. Okay, yeah, you guys got 5 inches of snow last night. Wow. Okay, yeah, PC got messed up. Okay. It's smart to go off grid because someday there will not be a grid. Yes. You get it beforehand, before everybody else. You're already prepared. Everybody else is looking like fools with their pants down. Under the tornado warning in Gainesville right now. Yeah, the whole state is, and it should be, that tornado warning should be over now. Crazy weather in the world, nuts. Texas had snowstorm 2 days in a row. Oh, wow. Okay. Paul never told me about that. I talked to him yesterday. Am I in a tornado shelter? No, I'm sitting in a Mexican restaurant. The great thing about Mexican restaurants is it's not very expensive food. So for $5, I got 2 tacos, and they were steak tacos. They weren't this Taco Bell crap where it's like lower grade than dog meat. Okay, so Pinhoti would still have a freeze risk rate. Yes, depends upon if you're on because you're in northern Alabama, so near, not Montgomery. What's the other one? I can't remember the other city that's just north of that. Shelters also can be used as a mailing address. Yes, they can, Rugsy. That's why I'm telling you guys to send it to Grace Marketplace, because that's a shelter, and I know I could pick my stuff up there. Plus, I also have my Amazon deliveries go to shelters. So, okay, what is this is what the rich want? I don't know. I don't think that this is what the rich want. I think that this is just the consequences of their actions. Okay. Let's see. We will fight for the scraps. Well, of course, it's always been the poor man that fights for the scraps. And the thing is when the poor exceeds the everyday guy, that's when people are going to start turning against the system. Yes, it is working as designed. Okay. Hey, Roll, welcome from the Netherlands. Okay, Colorado has gotten expensive. I don't know much about New Mexico. New Mexico, the great thing about New Mexico, I can't remember his name, but he's a great libertarian. He was the only, he because of him, New Mexico had the lowest sales tax. I think it was like 3.5%. It was even lower than Idaho. Okay. He ran for president at the same time Ron Paul did, but he was ran out, and he was actually a good governor. People just didn't like him because he wasn't spending money. But that's what we want our governor to do. Let us take care of ourselves. Let the community take care of itself. And then, we don't need the government to step in. The government stepping in is what's causing the issues, because now we all of a sudden become dependent. Because instead of my fellow man helping me out, it's the government that's helping me out. And now everybody's mad because it's like, well, I don't want to pay taxes to help you out. I'll help you out, but I don't want to be forced to do it against my will. I want to do it on my choice, my terms. Okay, so been there, changed my name, was Gannon. Oh, okay. Hey, Gannon. Okay, now I know who you are. Just got 14 snow in Massachusetts right now. 4 inches of rain coming tonight. Why stay away from New Mexico, Rugsy? That's a question for you. Why would I stay away from New Mexico? Let's see, you can buy a camping pass at New Mexico state parks for less than $300 per year, last I checked. That's not bad. But the thing is I'm not really looking at staying in the state parks. I am looking at, I'm going to be taking Arizona. I would go to northern Arizona, but that's only if I was going to buy property, and that's because it has some stuff to do with some people from Figu, which is the whole Billy Meier camp. So yeah, I would probably think about doing something like that up there, but I'd have to buy property. I wouldn't just go there to live, to go off grid. I'm not keen on the desert, but if I can figure out ways to get water and grow crops, most definitely. They already bought some. Yes, I'm well aware of this one who studies. It was I think it was Bridget who told me that was telling me about this. It was either that or it was Delta. So one of you guys told me about this, and I thought, I think it was sent to me in an email about the property and the contract report and stuff like that. Now, whether or not it actually becomes a Figu center in the future, from what I understand, it's not going to be, but it's a great place for like-minded people to come together and kind of build out here on the North American continent. And then you've also got a center in North Carolina. I don't even know if that one's running. I really wanted to go there, but I never made it. I would have made it if I'd have gone on the AT. And then they also got another one in California, which I will never step foot in California again. California could fall into the ocean. Okay, Figu. One who studies, you're probably going to have to give the original translation of it, but essentially it is a study center for those of us that follow what Billy Meier has to say. So Billy Meier claims to be the last in the line of 7 prophets. Going down the line, you had Enoch, and then you had Ezekiel, and then you had Jeremiah, Isaiah, Emmanuel, who we know is Jesus, Muhammad, and then Billy Meier. So those are the seven prophets that were here to reestablish the truth. And instead, what ends up happening is man dogmatizes it and turned it into a religion, therefore bastardizing what was originally being taught. So Christianity and Islam are both false teachings because they took the original teachings and they twisted them around, just like so it's just a teaching without belief. Yeah, I mean, basically trial and error. Try this out. Does it work? Why does it work? Figure it out. I mean, you're not gonna you'll spend a whole lifetime learning 4 or 5 lessons if you really want to learn them. So Billy Meier's there's a really good guy here, and I like his channel, Skill Salon. And also that's a good one because he does the computerized voices for the contact reports and other things that were put there. I've shared it on the community tab, and then also you got I think it's Billy Meier Books, Meier. Org Skills Salon. Yes. us.figu.org. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, let my feet hit the... All right. Yeah, hey, if you guys haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. Okay, so I have enough money to get us, because when we get to Lake City, we're gonna have to hoof it. We're about 22, 23 miles from Lake City, which is where we can catch the Greyhound. I don't want to walk to Gainesville unless I absolutely have to. And you know, Sam wouldn't like it either. Now, if I had her on trail, that would be one thing. But you know, like I said, the trail is flooded, and I'm not going to take Sam on. I'm not going to take Sam on a flooded trail. Let's see yeah, so it's like $17 for the bus ticket to leave. Let's see, today's Tuesday. We'll probably leave Thursday. Yeah, because well, tomorrow, and then because it leaves like 2 o'clock on Thursday. I'm probably, after we get off here, I'm gonna go ahead and order the bus ticket, because I think we'll make it in time unless something drastic happens. And that's the weird thing, is I don't want to buy the ticket and then be late for it, because it's hard to get them to change it, so on and so forth. Now, I may have to call and ask for a courtesy, but for the most part, that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, guys, we've been doing this for about 45 minutes. I need to go out and check and see if the rain has stopped, because Sam and I need to do at least another 5 miles before we call it a day, so that tomorrow we can do like 16, 18, and then just have like 3 or 4 miles into town. So we'll probably camp right outside of Lake City tomorrow night, and then Thursday we will go in and catch the Greyhound bus. Yes. So anyways, guys, and I also think that they're getting ready to close up and stuff here too, because the lady came in and got my my dirty dishes. So anyways, if 2 ways you can help, 3 ways you can help. First, like, subscribe, make sure you share this content, get as many views on all this stuff as we possibly can. Number 2 is come over to Patreon, become a Patreon member. $5 a month for behind the scenes. Tomorrow's probably going to be late, and you guys kind of understand why. I'll explain to you a little bit more what's going on behind the scenes, stuff that I'm not going to share here on YouTube. And then, or $10 a month if you want to get the behind the scenes plus the hobo tutorial, so you get 2 videos a week instead of 1. Okay. Or you can leave a tip down in my tip jar, which if you look down in the description, you see what is it? You see PayPal, you see CashApp. CashApp costs me less, but most people end up sending me stuff through PayPal. Either way works for me. But if you guys want to help make our trip just a little bit better, or buy me something to eat, you're more than welcome to put something in the tip jar, because quite frankly, my hiker hunger is so great that whatever comes in the tip jar, I'm probably going to spend it on food so I can cure this hunger, because it's like I could. Sam's in danger. I could easily put her on a spit. Oh, speaking of, I want to tell you a quick joke. So we were in Gainesville, right? And this lady comes up and says, here's a chicken sandwich, 1 for you and 1 for Sam. Make sure she eats. I says, I'm actually trying to fatten her up because one day when I get hungry, I'm gonna put her on a spit. Just the blank look, the blank stare on her face. I'm like, she didn't even chuckle. She didn't know what the hell I was saying. What's a spit? Because she's some college age kid. They don't even know what a spit is anymore. I mean, for those of you that don't know, it's like a stick that goes through, that's on 2 poles, and you rotate it. It's like if you watch some of the old movies, that's how they used to roast meat. Like if you roast a whole hog or something like that, you just put a stick through it and just rotate it around. That's called a spit. Okay, so anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this channel. You know how to help out, and I will see you in the next video.